So real quickly, one of the things we do is we take that waste grease, we filter it. We filter it down to 100 microns, which really is just kind of a coffee filter, basically the same size, but it's big. And all that does is take out the French fries and the little particulates and stuff. So we would come over here, and we're going to have kind of Eliana just step up and demonstrate real quick. So in this barrel would be the 30 gallons of waste grease, and so Eliana would just connect this pump right into the machine.
And then we would just pump it.
Yep. Physically kind of get the oil right into the machine.
Okay.
The sight tube would then start to indicate exactly where we are. We need to be higher. The big risk is we need to be higher than the heating element. The heating element must be submerged. So once the oil's in, we circulate it with the pump, and everything is switch controlled back there. So we circulate the grease, and what the grease does while it's circulating through here is actually what they call drop. The grease is, we're essentially boiling the water out of it. We monitor temperature right here, so as the grease moves through the system, it splashes back into the insulated tank. We do that for about an hour, and then at that point, we let everything settle, the grease is over the heating element, and we connect our catalyst. Now this is really the most dangerous chemical process. So we attach the catalyst, the methoxide port in, we pump it right in. So methoxide is methanol and potassium hydroxide. That essentially turns it into biodiesel. So it's trans-esterification, it's the technical term. We essentially suck out the salts and the soap of vegetable grease. That's what makes it biodiesel. We pump that in, we let that circulate for an hour. At that point, the glycerin settles. We come back, drain off the glycerin, and what's left is biodiesel.
So now where can this biodiesel be used?
This biodiesel at that point is still dirty, but biodiesel can be used in any diesel engine. It can be blended with petroleum at any rate. And ultimately, it can be put in any home heating oil furnace with no modification. You do not have to change your engine or your furnace. It burns clean. And it's carbon neutral, which is the great part. So once that process is done, Paul, why don't you come over? Once the trans-esterification, the actual biodiesel process is done, we have to get the biodiesel out of here and into the wash tank. So Paul essentially will just kind of connect the out pump, and we'll connect these hoses, and ultimately get the biodiesel into the big wash tank. Now this is obviously a simulation, but so at this point, once the biodiesel gets loaded into the wash tank, we send in via these little sprinkler heads. They're the misting heads, like misting tents. It's all from aquarium. We bought this all from aquarium stores and stuff.
This is all homemade, correct?
This is all made by me and the students, yep. And so we mist the water through the biodiesel. At that point, the water, on a molecular level, actually bonds with any chemicals, soap, salt, and it drops. Water is heavier than biodiesel. So the dirty water collects at the bottom and our biodiesel floats. We do that 3 times. At the end of that, we drain off the water, which is over there, and then we have burnable biodiesel ready to go.